The wind was biting cold that morning, the kind of chill that cuts through your jacket and reminds you of every scar you ever earned. A group of U.S. Marines stood in a wide circle on the training ground, their laughter carrying across the open field. The sound wasn't cruel, not at first, just the usual ribbing soldiers give each other, but it turned sharp when they noticed him. A single-dad veteran, worn boots, patched jacket, and carrying an old orange rifle that looked like it belonged in a pawnshop rather than a battlefield. "Hey, Grandpa," one Marine shouted, grinning as he pointed. "You here to scare off deer with that toy?" Another smirked, shaking his head. "Bet that thing jams if you even look at it wrong." The veteran didn't respond. He had heard worse in his time. He shifted the strap on his shoulder, adjusted the old rifle, and kept walking to the firing line. To anyone watching, he seemed like just another washed-up soldier clinging to the past. But what they didn't see was the story behind that orange rifle, or the years of battles, both abroad and at home, that carved the silence into his soul. He wasn't there for medals or recognition. He was there because his daughter, his little girl, had begged him not to give up. "Daddy," she had whispered, holding his weathered hands, "you always told me soldiers never quit. So don't you quit either." Those words replayed in his mind every time doubt crept in. The Marines continued their jokes as he set up. The rifle looked awkward compared to their sleek, modern gear. But what they didn't know was that rifle had history. He had customized it himself, painted it orange not for camouflage but for memory, his late wife's favorite color. Every scratch on it carried a story, every modification a piece of his journey. The challenge that day was nearly impossible, a target 5,000 meters out. Even the best snipers hesitated. At that distance, wind, humidity, and even the curve of the earth played a role. A bullet had to be more than precise, it had to defy chance. The general himself was watching, though the Marines didn't know it yet, evaluating who among them had the discipline and heart for something greater. "All right, old man," one Marine chuckled. "Show us what that toy can do." He lay down, steady hands despite the whispers. He slowed his breathing, letting the world fall quiet. The Marines were still joking, but he didn't hear them anymore. He only heard the echoes of the battlefield, the voice of his fallen brothers, and the steady rhythm of his daughter's words. His fingers squeezed the trigger. The crack of the shot echoed across the range, then silence. Seconds felt like hours as everyone stared downrange, squinting against the distant horizon. Then, bang! The steel target 5,000 meters away rang with a sharp echo that silenced every laugh instantly. The Marines blinked, stunned. One even muttered, no way he hit that." But before anyone could speak again, a voice cut through the silence. The general, who had been watching from behind, stepped forward. His eyes locked on the veteran, and for the first time, the Marines stood at attention. "Who taught you that discipline?" the general asked. The veteran finally stood, dusting off his jacket. His voice was quiet but steady. "Life, sir. And a promise to never quit." The general nodded, his expression unreadable. Then he turned to the Marines. "Let this be a lesson. You laughed at him because of what you saw on the outside. But skill, discipline, and heart don't wear uniforms. They don't come in shiny weapons. They come from within." The Marines shifted uncomfortably, shame creeping into their faces. The general turned back to the veteran, offering a rare salute. The man froze for a moment, surprised, then returned it with all the weight of his years behind it. Later, when he walked back to his daughter, who had been waiting near the edge of the field, her small hands clapped furiously, her face glowing with pride. "Daddy, you showed them. You showed them who you really are." He smiled for the first time in a long while, kneeling down so she could throw her arms around his neck. In that embrace, the weight of mockery, doubt, and years of struggle seemed to fall away. The story of the orange rifle spread quickly across the base. It wasn't just about a shot. It was about resilience, about a father who carried his battles quietly and proved that strength isn't always loud, it's consistent, unwavering, and rooted in love. So, if you're watching this right now, remember his story. Don't let anyone's laughter define your worth. Don't quit when the world doubts you. And if this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe, because sometimes the most unexpected heroes carry the most powerful lessons.